Hello, Westford. This week we bring you the results of special town meeting, give you an update from the town manager's office, and tell you all you need to know on how to vote in the presidential election before November 8th. I'm Ira Keltz, and it's time for WestfordCAT News. Voters decided 12 articles and 2 resolutions at special town meeting on Monday, October 17th. Here's a highlight from the 2.5-hour gathering.
Drew Gardens took center stage at special town meeting for a good portion of the October 17th gathering. A non-binding resolution seeking to protect the town's investments in its agriculture preservation restricted lands was introduced early in the evening, prompting discussion. The non-binding resolution continued an ongoing debate in town over 9 acres known as Drew Gardens, which was put under agricultural preservation restrictions, or APRs, in the late 1990s. The measure polarized special town meeting voters, with one group in favor and another arguing that such an impromptu measure did injustice to the voters.
George Murray, 14 Haywood Road. The only point that I want to make is first of all, everybody knows this has been fraught with difficulties and a lot of contentious discussion. But it seems to me inappropriate and unfair to bring something like this to town meeting with absolutely no notice to anyone, being revised and edited at the last minute before it goes up on the screen, and expect us to make an informed decision on it. That's my point.
Thank you.
But Marion Harmon, an honorary director of the Westford Conservation Trust, argued in favor of the resolution.
Marion Harmon, Chamberlain Road. We in Westford have lost 90% of our farmland. Since this was an apple community, a farm community, and this little piece of farmland has been protected by us in perpetuity, forever. In order to, or if we undermined this protection on this piece of property, that would send a signal to other towns in Massachusetts and in fact to other states that they might be able to undermine APRs in their communities as well. Not only that, but conservation restrictions could also, people owning conservation restrictions could also feel that they might be able to sell their land for a lot of money. So this is a very inappropriate use of this land, and I urge you to vote in favor of this resolution. Thank you. Thank you.
The resolution was introduced by Juliet Mount, one of 13 appointed this spring to the Drew Gardens Task Force. Selectmen asked the group to recommend whether to support a proposed development of the land by Groton developer Ebrahim Masaladan. Masaladan wants to build a 19,000 square foot farm-to-table restaurant on a portion of the parcel. To do this, one of 3 3-acre APRs would have to be amended. A faction in town is deeply opposed to the amendment, while 4 out of 5 selectmen support it. While Mount's resolution failed 114 to 103, the debate is far from over. Masaladan has said he will bring it back to town meeting in the spring. Watch the entire town meeting at westfordcat.org. For WestfordCAT, I'm Patty Stalker.
There will be a public hearing on a settlement reached with the owner of a Nashua company and the town regarding a controversial asphalt plant for 540 Groton Road. The meeting will take place on Tuesday, October 25th at 7 p.m. at Westford Academy, 30 Patton Road. Last week, we showed you an earlier attempt to hold this hearing, which was cut short on October 12th because the venue was too small for the 450 or so residents who showed up. WestfordCAT will bring you live coverage, and a full recording will be available at westfordcat.org following the meeting. In early October, 4 Westford Academy students were diagnosed with a dangerous staph bacteria known as MRSA. The students were treated and the school was disinfected. We hear from Westford Academy school nurse leader Joan Mitchell, who said school officials are not aware of any more MRSA cases at Westford Academy. Here's Superintendent Bill Olsen to tell us about what's happening at the schools.
Hi, this is Superintendent of Schools Bill Olsen with another school system update. Our October 1st enrollment for this year, for the 2016-2017 school year, is 5,131 students. That's approximately 50 students less than our enrollment last year during the 2015-2016 school year. Our enrollment at the elementary level continues to decline, but very, very slowly. What we do need to keep our eye on, however, is the future development, particularly in the southern part of town, of high-density apartment complexes. At the present time, there's a plan in review by the town for 282 units of 1, 2, and 3-bedroom units that are planned to be constructed in the southern part of town, and also another 28 townhouses over off Power Road. Now, there is a great potential for continued development in the future, and I'll stay in touch with our planning department and the town manager to make sure that we have adequate understanding of where these developments are taking place, when they're taking place, and the potential impact on our school system. I want to congratulate Chris Gorham and some of the students at Westford Academy. I want to hold this book up for a minute. This is a book entitled Westford Academy Journal of History that was published recently by Chris, and it is a compilation of some of the best research papers that the staff at Westford Academy reviewed over the past year. And it's a fascinating, fascinating book. I would encourage you, if you're interested in a copy, to contact the high school to see if you can obtain one. As I say, recently published, and we're extraordinarily proud of Chris and the students for their outstanding work. Next week, I convene a committee dealing with the classroom of the future. We'll take a look at the current structure of education in America, what the present needs are in the employment market, how information and the knowledge-based economy is changing quickly, how the hyperconnectivity of the globe and countries and citizens around the globe is impacting the skills that our students will need to possess. And so I anticipate a number of meetings over the remainder of the year. We have Dr. Anita Greenwood joining us. She is the Dean of the College of Education at UMass Lowell. And facilitating the meetings with me will be Professor David Birnbach, who is a professor of innovation and entrepreneurial studies at the MIT Sloan School of Management. And so we look forward to some lively and engaging conversations with our staff members. We have about 30 staff members from our school system who will be participating in that committee. This is Bill Olsen, Superintendent of Schools. I look forward to joining you the next time.
A new law has just gone into effect this voting season, allowing registered voters to cast ballots for the presidential election between October 24th and November 4th. To explain the nuts and bolts of how it works, we invited Westford Town Clerk Carrie Terry and League of Women Voters spokesman Laura Dickey to provide details.
Early voting is easy to do. It's accessible to anyone who's a registered voter in Massachusetts, except that they can only vote early in their town or request an early voting ballot from their town. It begins October 24th at 8 a.m. and it goes through the normal business hours, 8 to 4, with some additional hours. And that information is posted on our website. And I should mention the other additional late hours that we'll have are the 2 Tuesdays. So Tuesday, October 25th and November 1st, we will be open until 8 p.m. And then Friday, November 4th, which is the last day, we will be open at 6 a.m. The other thing I'd like to mention is for early voters, if you're coming in person, you do not need to fill out an application form. What you would be doing is going into that conference room, and there will be a voter checklist. So you will give your name and address. You will get a ballot and an envelope. You will vote your ballot. Then you will put it into the envelope and fill out the outside of the envelope. And then you will put your ballot in there and put it into a ballot box. It will not be tallied on that day that you're voting. It will be taken to the polls and tallied on election day.
Remember, Westford voters, the early voting location is on the first floor at Town Hall, inside the conference room. To view the entire segment on early voting, visit westfordcat.org. And here's an update from the Town Manager's office.
Hi, I'm Jodi Ross, Westford Town Manager. I would like to tell you a little bit about our town meeting we just had. It was an exciting town meeting, as they all are, and a couple of things that we approved were to move forward with a grant for the J.B. Fletcher Library for expansion. We also approved a well for the community garden, which is something many of you participate in. There were many articles on the warrant, and most of them passed, and it was a good time by all. We have a new town website that is coming out, and that is the same www.westfordma.gov, but as of November 14th, we will have a new website. The important thing for you to know is if you currently subscribe to our public notices or to our agendas, you will need to resubscribe on the new website. We will put out notices on that to remind you, and it will be in the Town Manager's newsletter next month. A lot of you have seen no asphalt signs and been hearing things about the Selectmen's settlement on the asphalt plant. I strongly encourage you to go to a public meeting on October 25th at the Westford Academy gymnasium, or actually auditorium, I'm sorry, and that meeting will begin at 7 p.m. and we will be happy to answer all your questions about that. So Rodenbush, everybody knows and loves our Rodenbush building. The Community Preservation Committee and the Board of Selectmen have been meeting to discuss funding mechanisms for that project. There will be upcoming meetings, and this project will probably be going to the upcoming Spring Town meeting, which will be held on March 25th. Another important project the town is working on is the fire station. It is on budget right now, and the opening for that will be in about a year and a half, with our combined dispatch opening up in March of 2017. So that's the highlights for now, and stay tuned for our next report. Thank you.
Giuseppe brings us this week's weather.
Hello, Westford. This is Giuseppe with the weather forecast for this weekend in the week of October 24th. Looks like some chilly nights are coming our way next week. Here's what's coming up. On Saturday, it'll be partly cloudy with a slight chance of rain. The high will be 56 and low 37. On Sunday, it will be partly sunny in the morning with more clouds rolling in during the afternoon. The high will be 52 degrees and low will be around 36 degrees. On Monday, there will be a mix of sunshine and clouds with a high of 52 and low of 30. On Tuesday, it will be merely sunny with a high of 50 degrees and low of 29 degrees. On Wednesday, it will be mostly sunny with a few clouds. The high will be 50 degrees and the low will be 35 degrees. On Thursday, it will be cloudy with passing showers. The high will be 52 and the low around 34. On Friday, it will be mostly cloudy during the day with some showers at night. The high will be 51 degrees and low will be around 38 degrees. That is it for weather. Have a great week, everyone.
And now, here's Rekha Sharma with this week's health tip.
Hello everyone, I'm Rekha Sharma back with a new health tip for WestfordCAT News. Ayurveda is a science of life with emphasis on oneness of mind, body and soul. Today I'm going to talk about prunes. Prunes are packed with natural fibers and are a rich source of vitamins and minerals and is free from any harmful ingredients. Vitamins work best with prunes as it has iron, calcium, magnesium, phosphorus, which fight any mineral deficiency in the body and give you a glowing, healthy skin. It is a rich source of vitamin C and a natural immunity booster. It prevents hair damage and promotes hair growth. Prune helps to relieve constipation. It also normalizes the blood sugar level by decreasing the rate at which food leaves the stomach and by slowing the absorption of glucose. Prune helps to maintain cholesterol balance. It is a rich source of iron and helps with anemia. So add some prunes in your diet to get the benefits. If you have any medical conditions, please contact your healthcare provider before consuming. I'll be back with a new health tip. Bye for now.
The Lowell Humane Society recently told us that our Pet of the Week segment has significantly helped find homes for all of the pets featured in previous episodes of Westford Cat News. Here's Patty Stalker with our latest featured pet, Nikki, a playful, loving, and very handsome tomcat available for adoption at the shelter.
The Lowell Humane Society on Broadway Street in Lowell has many pets available now for adoption. I stopped in recently where Karen Braunschweiger, a volunteer at the shelter, introduced me to a 1.5-year-old tomcat named Nikki.
Nikki was surrendered to the shelter by his previous owner, and he's been here for about a month. And you can see he likes to play. He likes to climb on things. And his previous owner said he loved to sit in the window and watch the birds. But he also likes to be petted. Wand toys, toys on strings, he really enjoys. He's a very handsome boy. Nikki! So there is information on the website at lowellhumanesociety.org about him and the kind of home that would be best for him. He might do well with another feisty, playful cat. He likes balls and string toys. And he likes to sit in windows and watch the birds. He would do best in an adult home or with older kids, say teens. And he needs someone that's committed to playing with him because he has a lot of energy and very playful. But he also loves to be petted.
As Karen mentioned, if you'd like more information on Nikki or any of the other pets available for adoption, or would like to find out how to donate, volunteer, foster a pet, or fill their wish list, go to lowellhumanesociety.org or call 978-452-7781. And of course, you can visit them at 951 Broadway Street in Lowell. For Westford Cat, I'm Patty Stalker.
What's going on around town? Here's Sarah Fletcher with details.
Sarah Fletcher here with a couple of upcoming events for you and your family. Create a spooky mummy, a friendly witch, or a bobblehead black cat on Thursday, October 27th at the J.V. Fletcher Library, 50 Main Street. Parents and their children can drop in on this free Halloween craft event beginning at 3:30 p.m. The event goes until 5 and is best for kids ages 4 and older. This is a drop-in event, but you can visit westfordlibrary.org for information on all their events. The Neshoba Players will present 45 Seconds from Broadway on October 28th and 9th and November 4th and 5th at the Parish Center for the Arts, 10 Lincoln Street. All performances begin at 8 p.m. This Neil Simon play takes place inside a tea room in the New York Theater District's Edison Hotel. The audience gets to eavesdrop on the lives of the cafe owners and their customers over the course of a year. For tickets, call 978-760-3510 or visit neshobaplayers.org. The Rodenbush Community Center is offering a workshop entitled Intuition 101 on Thursday, November 3rd from 7 to 9 p.m. The class will discuss the subconscious mind and explore how to use everyday symbols as tools for feedback and inner guidance. Participants are asked to wear comfortable clothes and to bring a yoga mat. To register, visit rodenbush.org or call 978-692-5511. The fee is $43. If you haven't heard, the Rodenbush fundraiser Grab a Glass Wine and Craft Beer event has been postponed until November due to unforeseen circumstances and changes in state licensing. The event was supposed to take place on this Saturday, the 22nd, and has been rescheduled. The new date will be posted on their website, rodenbush.org. Thank you, and that's all for now.
And that's a wrap for this week, Westford. For WestfordCAT, I'm Ira Keltz. We leave you with shots of the many faces we saw at Special Town Meeting on Monday.